Good morning. Good morning. How are you today? It is 9:15. I am a hair late, as normal, but I am here. Thanks for joining in. Wow, that screen is so stinking small. I haven't used this application for quite some time, so I am late trying to figure it out. And then I was trying to figure out using this application, I can stream through two phones, blah 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 blah. And so that's what I was trying to do this morning, and then realized I don't have my password to my house, my cell phone, my stuff. And so I'm sitting here staring at my other video device going, "You're useless to me," which is very frustrating because, yeah, I should have done my tech check. Go back to my executive assistant days. Should have done my tech check before I came online. But did I? No. But good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We talked about these last night. My little crabbies. And we are going to, gotta figure out my camera. We're going to paint these little crabbies. And then also we are going to paint these super cute starfish and sand dollars. These designs are from Lucky Heart Designs. Give her full shout out credit. She's an amazing designer. I don't know what this guy's called. Thank you. Hi, whoever has joined me. I'm really hoping I can see comments. So, because this is a newer application for me, so we're going to see how it goes. Anyway, huge shout out to her. She does amazing on designing these things. So makers such as myself can bring them to our incredible creative community. So these little guys are my embellishments. I like to call them embellishments. This is an interchangeable. Okay, so this is our beach one. This is what I like to call my marquee. These are the little accent guys. So this is the beach theme that we have going on here. My little lemonade. And then this is my banner. Hello, summer. So I am making my embellishments to go along with this. We also have a cute gnome. Let me grab him. So here's a cute gnome to go with our beach theme. So all of our themes, we have an interchangeable. Then we have, which these guys are the interchangeables. We'll have a gnome, and then we'll also have our embellishments to go with them. So the embellishments that I have already done and put in here are my sunglasses and my little sun. So this is in a gumball jar. They look so super cute. So you're going to have to stay tuned to the pictures of how all of this goes together. They are adorable. Switch out every single month or every week or however much you desire. But they're absolutely adorable. Just accessories, and they don't take up much space, honestly, unless you have a lot of them because you're trying to bring creativity to the world, such as myself. But let us move forward. I'm going to tilt you down so you can see what I'm painting. And in the future, I'll have all this figured out and we won't need to jump back and forth. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually show you how I like to ombre. Now, I am going to wet my crab just with a light, just very light. Now, you don't want to do too much because this is natural wood, okay? This is birch. So with this being a natural wood, it will swell if you do too much, okay? So you absolutely do not want to do too much water. We're going to set these guys off to the side. So the first thing I do is I take my dark color, and I am choosing blue because of the living in Maryland. We used to live in Maryland, several years ago, several years ago. But they had the Maryland blue crabs, which were tiny little guys, delicious, and it took forever to eat. So I am, if you notice, I put dark blue at the bottom and I'm putting white at the top. And now I'm taking my brush and I am blending. Okay. So we're just going to blend, 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 blend. Now I'm taking my white again. I'm going to make my little claw. Is this an accurate depiction of a blue crab? No. Is it mine? Yes. It's the beauty of art. You get to interpret life however you want, and no one gets to tell you you're wrong. So we are just going to add a little bit more white, and then blend. Okay. See how that works. Okay. And then you're getting those ombre effects down, and you're just going to blend it. That is how I like to do it. Other people have their own technique, which I think is awesome. That's the cool thing about this. I'm just adding a little bit more blue at the bottom. And then I'm going to blend a little bit more. And there we have it. There we have my little ombre crab. Okay. These guys are so cool. Now I'm going to do his eyes, but first I'm going to get myself some black. I'm just using craft paint for this. Just some acrylic craft paint. So on his eyes, I'm going to go around using a fine tip brush. Don't worry if you get outside the line, it's fine. Okay. I'm just going to use a fine tip brush, doing that outline. Let's see if I can zoom you in. I can't. So much I need to learn. I was talking to my daughter the other day, and also my mom, and how much times have changed. My grandparents, well, my grandmother used to work in a variety store, and I would go visit her quite often. And now I'm just going to add white into my eye. But I would visit her quite often, and that's where everybody would go, you know, for medicines, greeting cards, wrapping paper. I'm from a very small town, but that was the place that you would go. And after school, when I got into high school, I would go there with my best friends, and we would get vanilla phosphates. So it was kind of like a hangout place. And, you know, you'd go there and get your medications and those kind of things. And it was just, you just knew that, okay, that's the place you go. Well, now we are on this global market, and it is so much harder, I think, for me. Because I think it's confusing because people don't exactly know where to go. There we go. Now his little eyes are done. What do you guys think? I think he's cute. I really like him. So there's no particular order that you have to paint these guys in. So anyway, I think it's just challenging because not only for the consumer, you, but also, especially for consumers that are in my age bracket and more seasoned, which I mean older. Because just, it's so, I don't know. We don't just go down to the market anymore and get our little craft kits. Well, back in the day, we didn't have craft kits, but and also it's just hard as a, because all this tech stuff. I feel behind, people. I guess that's just what I'm saying. I feel behind. So give me grace. I'm doing my best. So I'm just going in there and I'm painting my little eyeballs. And then I'm going to go ahead, paint my claws. You can do a reverse ombre if you want, where the dark is at the top and the light is at the bottom. You don't even have to do an ombre. You could actually make these different colors if you want. You can make it, let's make this guy, shall we? Let's make him with this Enchanted Echinacea color. This is Fusion, by the way. This Enchanted Echinacea. So we're going to kind of add a little bit of variation of color on this guy, just so you guys can see more. I'm still going to use my blue because I still want him to be a blue crab. I have fun memories going to a restaurant with my husband in Maryland. We went to a place that specialized in blue crabs. And as you can tell, this is what happens if you don't add your water first, guys. I didn't add my water. It doesn't blend as well. And that's why I highly recommend adding your water at the beginning because it blends so much better, but you don't want to add too much. Okay. Anyway, my husband and I went to this restaurant that specialized in blue crabs, and we sat there, and they're tiny. Blue crabs are so tiny. And you hit it with a mallet, and then you, I don't know, sit there for like all night trying to get the smallest amount of meat you possibly can out of this poor little crab. Okay, I'm going to use a sponge just to pull some of that off. Sponges also come in your kits, guys. So I'm just using a sponge to level that out a bit. So anyway, you spend an absorbent amount of time getting this crab meat out of these adorable little crabs, which have, of course, been cooked and ready for you. And then, so we're sitting there. I think we sat there for an hour or two, just trying. We had 50 or plus little blue crabs, and we left. And I looked at my husband, and he looked at me, and we were both like, okay, we're starving. Let's go get something to eat. It was so hilarious. It was a good experience. We never did it again. That was the first and last time that we went and had blue crab. So if you're not blending as well as you want, don't stress it. Just keep working the process, okay? So we're just going to work this process. And really, nothing in nature is as perfect as we believe it is. I love this guy. He is super cute. Just got to do his eyeballs. So that was a pretty fun experience when we lived in Maryland. That was one of my favorite places, Maryland. Okay. Cutie patootie. Okay. Just a few more guys to go. I'm going to do another. See, I often yell at myself creatively. And if you use your same brush, don't worry about that. It's when you're adding your water that you're going to get paint. That's awesome, actually, because then you're kind of staining. I use my same brush all the time, especially when I'm wanting to ombre. And I always say paint in the direction of the item. So if you have a circle of types, paint in a circular motion. If it's a box, paint straight across. So by painting in the direction of the object, it actually helps you create that movement, okay? So I'm just going to dab this a little bit, and I'm going to let it dry some so I can go back. This guy's going to actually have blue around his eyes. And I can always go back and refill in my white. You don't have to worry about, it going over my lines, because we can always go back and refill. I am not familiar with what the terminologies are with these crabs. I am not from that part of the country, so not sure. So you're just going to want to blend those together. It's a fun process. And if you feel like it's getting too dry, that's fine. Just go back, grab some water, and just kind of blend it. Then we're going to grab some of our white. Come up here. He's a cute little guy too. One more dude to go. Let's make him just blue and white like the first one. My brush was still a little wet, so I did not apply my pre-water, my built before I get to the bottom. Just a little bit of water down there. Help this blend a little bit better. And just think of the belly, your belly of your crab. Each guy is different, unique in its own beautiful way, kind of like us. Cute little guy. Okay. Let that dry for a little bit. I can go back in. And if you don't like them, no big deal. And a little bit more uptone blue. Another fun application is dry brushing. We'll do that another time. We'll do that, the dry brush, on the next ones. And then if you want to add their mouth, you can go ahead. Does have a little smile. The beauty of art is when you are, when you view art, this is the closest you will actually be ever again, because you don't view art close. Art is generally viewed at a distance. They say take 10 steps back when you are looking at, when you're making a project. And that is that's generally the space in which art is viewed. These little crafty guys, I mean, I don't think people are gonna, you know, I don't know. I guess there's always critical people. Who needs them? This is about relaxing, spending time just refocusing and letting yourself reconnect and having a good, just a breather. I don't know. We're gonna make his mouth white. I mean, we were gonna make his mouth white, and I changed my mind. The beauty of paint, you can change your mind. We will have these craft kits available to sell on my website, www.thebluebeeboutique.com. And they are available as a subscription box. So every single month you will get a mystery item. Of course, it'll be seasonal and it will go along with, kind of what's going on. So you can assume this one would be summer. So I always use, with my craft kits, you'll get a tube. I always use True Bond. And the reason being is because then I can use my fingers and I'm not using super glue and super gluing myself. Because with this True Bond, I can wash it off. But these are to add dimension to your project. They're super cute. I can't wait to share the pictures with you. And if you order a kit, I would love to see your finished project too. So just hashtag the Blue Bee 5. That is my handle. And I think that's what it's called, my handle. Who knows? So if it's incorrect, just forgive me. Learning. I'm going to paint under that because it isn't fitting perfect, which is totally okay because we're going to adapt and we're just going to paint under there. And then it'll be as though one is sitting under. So anyway, I'd love to see your projects, your finished projects. So Blue B5, and tag me on your social media accounts. And when I get individuals that are tagging me, I will do a drawing and you will get an opportunity to receive a free accessory kit. Oh, that's cute. See if I can squeeze that guy there a little bit more. Nope. Oh. So that cute. Look at that. Really learning these angles. Ugh. Okay. So, sand dollars. Starfish and sand dollars. Sand dollars. We'll do our sand dollar. Doing a wash, wet wash on this. Okay, then I'm going to come back and just play with my center here a little bit. Taking my sponge, dabbing off, blending that a little bit. Who has been sand dollar collecting? Boy, I have so many memories of different things in my life. Sand dollar collecting, Washington State, with my kids when they would come visit. Savannah, Georgia. Collecting sand dollars with my kiddos. We used to go, when we lived in Georgia, we'd go to the ocean practically every weekend. It was our relaxing retreat. So wonderful. So I'm just blending in. Now I'm going to set that off to the side, let it dry. Do this exact same method on this guy. Over here. But yeah, my kids and I would go. One of my favorite memories is when I brought my dad in Savannah. And my dad was cowboy. So he would always wear the cotton shirts that button down with the yoke at the top, very cowboyish. But this day, I told him, I was like, Dad, it's too hot. Put a t-shirt on. And so we went and bought him a pair of tennis shoes because he only had cowboy boots. And so we went and bought him a pair of tennis shoes and sunglasses. Totally hippified my dad. Oh, it was so much fun. So I'm going to go back in with my white and this tan, and I'm just going to mix them together because I want to paint in right here. So anyway, my dad looked like a little, in my version of a little hipster. It was so awesome. I had never seen my dad in a t-shirt in my whole entire life. It was so cool. We went sand dollar hunting. I just realized that my favorite places that I've lived in the military are near the ocean. So to do this, you're just going to mix the two colors together and take a fine point paintbrush and just filling those in. And do not freak out if you get outside the lines. The lines are just there to kind of guide you, direct you where things go, but they are not to restrict you. Okay? Not super cute. Okay. So this guy, I'm going to do Enchanted Echinacea. And I still have some of that white on my brush, which is good because it's kind of blending in. And I love blending and at the same time as I'm painting. I like when my brush does the mixing. Making my tips of this darker. And I'm just going to kind of blend that down. I'll show you my dry brush technique. Okay, so make sure you have a dry brush. It doesn't have to be completely dry, but you're going to want to make sure. And this actually has that really cool. So we're going to grab some of that color back and we're pulling. Okay. So you're just going to pull down. And I'm grabbing some of that wet paint as well from the top. And remember, going with the shape. We're going, keep them with that shape. And I'm just going to take some white and fill in those lines. Don't worry, don't stress. Remember, they are just, it's not to restrict you, it's to guide you. You just want a fine tip brush to do this. Okay. All right. Now we're going to do our starfish. I have no idea what color starfish are. So we're going to make them this color because I really don't know. Make them the same. And once again, I am just using my Enchanted Echinacea and I have no idea. I think it's cardboard. Honestly, I think that's the color. I think it's called cardboard. And I'm allowing that to blend, just pulling the paint on my brush and allowing it to blend on its own. My sand dollar. I don't know. Maybe sand dollars aren't this color. Mine are. Why? Because that's the color I painted them. No stress. So a fun way is just to kind of go back and forth. Okay. So grab that cardboard color, grab that enchanted echinacea color, grab that cardboard color, and just kind of go back and forth on your guy. Okay. And then you can just kind of add some highlights here and there. We're going to let him dry. I'm going to paint the base of this guy. So when it's glued over, if there's any edges that show, they're painted. Don't have to do a fabulous job on this. Okay, now we're going to go back in. And for this, I'm going to use black. Remember, the lines are to guide, not restrict. And we're just adding dots. Freckles. It's been out in the sun too long. It was a joke, guys. Laugh. I think it's fun doing these craft kits too, because it's a connection to my memories. Life can get so fast. We rarely ever just stop to just remember and just relax. So I think doing these kits helps us to just sit back. Now I'm adding a little bit of highlight, not on the whole thing. But this is where he's being kissed by the sun. And add a little dry brush there. So I think it's fun to do these craft kits because then it does remind us, it reminds me of my times in Georgia. And Maryland, different places that we have lived in our lives. So with this dry brush, you just kind of go over it and then just a little bit. Okay. Add a little bit of dry brush to my sand dollar. Give a little bit of texture to this little dude. Okay. Remember to go in the direction so it doesn't look strange. Your brush strokes don't look unnatural. Okay. Just a little bit of a blend. Now we're going to glue. This is the guy that goes on there. You get too much glue, just use your fingers, spread it out evenly. It's the beauty of Titebond is you're not going to glue yourself to your project. You can wash it off. Isn't that adorable? I'm going to add a little bit more white just so it pops. There we are. Now we have more kits. Put you back up. So here we are. Once again, here's the base. Are interchangeable. Okay. That's the base. Here's our gnome that we have with it. Hi, Cheryl. Hello, hello. Sorry you were tilted down so I couldn't see. And then here are our embellishments to go along with our kit. So here's the little crabbies. I did mine blue crabs. Okay. You get 3 little crabbies. And this little embellishment kit is our sand dollars and our stars. Cute guys. And then already in my gumball display case, we have our sunglasses and our sun, which these are so. If you're looking for some cute way to just add a little pop of color on your shelves or on your office table and your dining room tables, these are so super cute. So we have the gumball machines available if you want to purchase, or you can also purchase them at Hobby Lobby. And then we have all of these kits. They're available to purchase on our website, which is www.thebluebeeboutique.com. Appreciate you so much for tuning in. And I have news. My husband said he will paint the Mother's Day set. You're not going to see his face, but you will see his hands. So he said he will do that this evening after he gets back from doing more renovation projects on the building. The building's coming along. Just a little update for that. It's coming along. It's slow. I said I had an announcement. I want to know how many makers that are looking for a place to sell their product. Now, my stipulation is if you sell your product, you also have to be willing to teach your product. So I want to know how many of my maker friends out there would be willing and would love a place to sell their product plus not teach, but facilitate the creative process. Because I don't feel like I teach anything, but basically facilitate the creative process. I want to know who you are. The reason being is I am going to have some booth space in my building available on a rental and a small consignment fee associated with that. And we have some agreements that we can chat about to decrease your cost. We'll talk about that, basically manning the store. And not only that, one of my main goals, a huge goal that I would love to do is to build this makers community. Really, because I find it so, everywhere I've lived, this is coming from a heart. Everywhere I've lived, I had such a tight bond and a tight knit group, and we were all makers. We all created things together, and we just kind of shared ideas and encouraged each other and really helped each other when we just needed a little bit of a boost, or hey, I need to set up at a vendor event. Can you help me out? So many different things. We just became this tight knit community. And also, hey, did you know about this event? Hey, did you know about this event? Or we had meetings of just different ways of promoting our businesses and really encouraged each other. But we were all makers. And I have not had that since I've moved to Missouri, and it has been challenging for me. So I'm looking to build one. I would love just to build a creative community of like-minded people that are really passionate about getting people to create and getting people to connect to themselves through the creative process. And if that's you, please send me a private message. I would love to talk to you. And I have the space. So let's join together and share creativity with our local community. Thank you so much. I hope to hear from you soon. And I'm going to run to my chiropractor appointment. Keep me in your prayers. Having a lot of extreme back pain, and it's kind of frustrating. So really appreciate the prayers. But thanks for tuning in. I'll talk to you again soon. This evening, actually. So stay tuned. Not sure what time, but it will be this evening. So I'll talk to you guys later. Okay, bye.